Good day, lords and lassies. Danny Stewart here for BassJapanDirect.com with another naked sound review, and we're going to do a bass comparison today between Funky Junk number 60 over here and this one, number 61. So start with what I've got in my hands. This is number 61, and it is a Greco 1979 older Greco body with a 1980s Squire Japan neck. It's an excellent neck. The action is supremely smooth. I mean, this plays like a freaking high-end bass, you know. Like, it plays just as well as, say, for example, a Moon or an Atelier or whatever. It just so smooth. The action is ridiculously low. It's at 1 millimeter at the 12th fret right now, and it has a nice thin C profile grip. Right now we're balanced with the in parallel mode with the tone down. Let's go with the tone up and just so yeah, that's with the tone up and in parallel mode. Now let's just briefly compare that with the sound that we get out of this. Now this doesn't have a series or parallel mode, and this one is also an old 70s Greco body, but with a 1980s Fernandez neck. Let's go balanced with the tone up. Woo! Oh my God, the sound of this is incredible. That's the two Maxon humbuckers running there with the tone up. I immediately prefer the sound of this, to be quite honest. However, we have not checked this one in. Oh, mind you, no, this is nice and clear, and it's difficult. We haven't put this into series mode. Series parallel switch on the volume there. So it gets a bit thicker and warmer when you're in the series mode. So very nice. It is very nice. My immediate sort of guttural response was, "Oh, I like that." The sound of the Fernandez Greco hybrid over there instead. But I mean, this does have the two modes, so you've got more tonal scope. And then let's go on the rear pickup now. So for that we have to be in parallel mode. Got rear up. Let's have the tone down. quite warm and a little bit woolly. It's nice. I like it. Let's put the tone all the way up. It's quite clear with the tone all the way up. It doesn't really sound rude or honky, so to speak. It's nice. It's nice. Now let's listen to this. Now this one had the rear pickup is a lot closer to the bridge. So let's listen with the tone down. And now with the tone up. So now for me, I prefer this rear pickup sound because it's just a little bit, it's got more of that honk, that you know, that's what you want for a rear pickup tone, in my opinion. And it's really creamy with the tone down, you know. That's lovely. It's just beautiful. That's a perfect rear pickup tone as far as I'm concerned. But you know, to each their own. So far, I'm in favor of number 60 personally. That's just my personal opinion. Now let's go on the front pickup. Let's go with the tone down. Yeah, it's nice. Nice and big and round. Finger. Tone up. So yeah, and it gets kind of nice and biting and growly with the tone up. You know, I like the front pickup tone there is wonderful. Let's compare, and that's of course, you know, this is the beautiful Nordstrand big J blades in it. Let's compare with the front pickup on this beast. Tone down. Ooh, my God. And finger stop. which one I prefer, front pickup tone wise. They're different. They're very different in terms of tonal character. This one obviously has more tonal variety because it's got the added series parallel switch. However, you know, my personal taste would slant more towards number 60. It just depends, like, what you prefer, really. And in terms of playability, I mean, yeah, this is can get a lower action than this, and the string alignment and everything is better on this. It's actually perfect, which was just luck. Basically, the neck and the body work very, very well together. Whereas on this one, it took a lot more sort of messing around to get the pickups and the neck to align. And even so, the alignment is not perfect. You've got more real estate on the E string side than you do on the G. It's not a problem. It still plays beautifully. The action on this one is 1.5 millimeters without any problem. Can probably even go lower than that. For me, this is ideal. And you know, it has no problems with playability. The hardware on this is not as good as the hardware on this. On here, you've got high end. You've got your nearly brand new, that is, hip shot kick-ass bridge, and then you've got these Goto tuner pegs, which are the lightweight ones, the GB 640s. Those are top of the range here, whereas this one has got just standard. They're also reverse wind, but they're just the standard type of vintage tuners from Goto. And the bridge here is, I think it's a Fender Japan issue plate with Wilkinson saddles in brass. So it's just a simple vintage style bridge. It does its job very well. So yeah, I mean, the spec on this is not as good. It's not as high as the spec on this. But I'm not, you know, I take each bass on its merits. You know, every bass is slightly different from one model to another, of course. And out of these two, my verdict is I like number 60 a little bit better than I do number 61. But that's really purely just from the sound point of view. That's more the sound that I prefer. You know, and that's thanks to those Maxon humbuckers, and the placement of the rear humbucker as well is, you know, it's phenomenal. This it sounds great, I think, for a jazz bass, but it's a little bit more conservative on the rear pickup there. Otherwise, you know, all things considered, front pickup, maybe this is, I like them both. It's hard to say. You know, if you're looking for something that plays like silk, this is it. And you want something with a modern jazz bass sound, this is it. You know, it's nice and clear and cutting, especially in the parallel mode. But if you want something with a little bit more oomph and a little bit more of that vintage sound, that's the one. And price-wise, they're basically both the same price, 85,000 yen, which I think, all things considered, is very reasonable, considering the way they play, the way they sound, the components on this especially, you know. And of course, this one has the ramp as well that matches the fingerboard, color-wise. It's not exactly the same wood. This is actually walnut. but the color is so close to the fretboard, it looks, or it looks like, you know, it looks like it's meant to be, and that was the purpose. That's what I was going for. I really like the look of it, you know. Again, I'm not a professional refinisher. What I do is I cannot bear seeing things going to waste. Perfectly good body. Yes, it was a bit battered. Perfectly good neck. Actually, a friggin' awesome neck. And same in that case. You know. So yeah, whichever really. They're both. I think they're both great basses. Even though I do say so myself, it's not me. It's the really the luck of the, you know, the quality of the neck. And what I do is I always try and make sure the trajectory of the neck and the bridge is really good so that it plays very nicely. That is something that I do put a lot of work into. I also put a lot of work into cutting the nut so that it sits as low as possible at the first fret, so that it's very, very smooth to play. So that'll do it, guys. Let me know what you think is the bass for you out of number 60 and number 61. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts and comments about that. I'm going to vote number 60 for myself, although I do like them both. Yeah, I guess that does it. I'll stop my rambling and I'll see you again for another Naked Sound review soon. Cheers for watching it as always.